Hi, Divine Feminines. I just want to do a collective check-in. I'm not going to worry about waves or groups or whatever. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. I will have an extended version as usual for my beautiful patrons who are amazing and support me, who won't be my patrons much longer because I'm moving to buy me a coffee, but I want to make sure that I'm still giving them the goods, if you will. Okay, I just want to see what's happening for the collective at this moment. Whoa, we got a couple. Okay, stepping through. I feel like a majority of you probably feel this to some degree, a shift coming. It's almost takes my breath away a little bit. It almost feels like fear of leaving stuff behind. Fear of what you're leaving behind won't follow you, and that could be your masculine. You're afraid that your masculine won't follow you, and to be honest, they probably won't follow you on the same path, right? They'll have their own path to get to where you are. So just know that they're taking their own way there. And then, oh my goodness, look at that. How beautiful is that? The sacral chakra. So creativity, joy. I feel like the collective is going to be in a little bit of an upswing. You're going to feel this weird energy over here. But I feel like you're going to be in kind of an upswing of energy, if you will. I'm just going to move these over to center them because, you know, I like it like that. So, even though you're going to feel this weird energy, you're still going to feel a little bit inspired. You're going to want to create. You're going to want to move for yourself. You're going to want to do things. And I'm being guided to say it's okay to play. Let yourself play. Let yourself play with these energies. They don't have to be serious. They are part of your purpose, but they support your purpose more than they are your purpose. So feel into whatever that is. All right, I'm doing a little bit of a different setup, but I still want to look at the same aspects, okay? As in, you know, what are you shifting out of? What are you shifting into? What are you conscious of when it comes to yourself? What are you focused on? What are you conscious of when it comes to your masculine? What are you not conscious of when it comes to your masculine? What is some hidden aspects of what's going on? And what are you not conscious of when it comes to yourself? It's very interesting. Okay. All right, so what are you shifting out of here, Divine Feminines? So I'm going to take the first. Oh, okay, so we have a couple. Okay, so we have mature man here. So it's going to be a little, I should probably tape that down. Anyway, this is how I roll, guys. Who's a professional? This chick right here. Okay. The father figure card is a card about understanding how somebody like a father figure is influencing the connection. Okay, so a lot of us don't even realize, but we project a lot of the wounds our fathers created or we experience with our fathers, we project that onto our masculine. We don't even realize it because it comes up in interesting ways, like not knowing if your divine masculine is going to follow you is part of an abandonment wound where perhaps your father abandoned you in some way, and it led to a distrust of men being able to fulfill what you need, if you will. And not to say that you have to need anything from them, but it's just understanding if you can feel into that. Some of you are going to recognize that that's what you're shifting out of because you're recognizing the correlation between the wounds that you're projecting and who originated the wounds, if that makes sense. Okay. So what is, look at that. What are you conscious of? Because the three of them flipped up together. What are you conscious of when it comes to yourself? Yeah, recognizing your self-worth and perhaps how you haven't had any. How you're shifting and moving into a place of self-worth, of honoring yourself. Okay, and what do you focus on? We've got rewarding. So this has a couple of different messages. I think some of you are in a place, I feel some of you are in a place where you are recognizing the rewards you've already received in the means of being gifted with knowledge, awareness, healing. Okay, and some of you are still trying to focus on how you're in a reward system where you have to earn love, where you have to do X, Y, and Z to have A, B, and C kind of a thing, right? So it's a good focus though. It's not an unconscious focus, it's a conscious focus. So there's a lot of awareness in regards to that. Okay. What are you conscious of with your divine masculine? Yeah, they're being controlled in a lot of ways. Some of you feel like they're being controlled by fear. Okay, if you feel that way, dig into where your fear is controlling you, because you're going to mirror. And there's no judgment with this. There's only awareness around how your fear is controlling you, because you seeing them controlled is showing you something about yourself, or how you feel about them being controlled is showing you something about yourself. Okay. Now here's an interesting thing. So if your person is being controlled by people in their life, okay, feel into who's controlling you in your life. And it's not, for the feminine, it's very different, because we're very conscious people. Our stuff that we have to wade through is in the subconscious energy. It's harder to navigate. So in example, my divine masculine is very controlled by his mom. Okay, and I am very controlled by my dad, and it's hard to wrap my head around it because it doesn't feel like control, because it's something that I grew up with. It's something that I didn't even realize was manipulation, and he doesn't even realize he's doing it. It's not about shade for his mom or shade for my dad or anything like that. It's the awareness of how I react to his energy and how I sort of pacify and I walk around on eggshells to make sure that he's okay. That's a sense of control. So you might be experiencing it. It's not somebody outwardly controlling you. You just feel very controlled by the emotions you have in regards to this person. So feel into that, because there's something you're recognizing about your masculine that's going to be able to help you recognize how that's happening in your life. And I'm working through it, and I'm shifting through it, and it's getting better. So it does change. There is shift for change. Okay, what you are shifting into. Oh, very interesting. Sorry. That's me. So we have mind games. Okay, so this is sort of, it's interesting that we're shifting into mind games, because we have here 16, which is self-love. 1 is the number of self, 6 is the number of love, and together, okay, you get there through knowledge and understanding. So I feel it's this huge level, this stepping through, okay, because this is an intuitive number. We have 4 and 7. We have effort with getting to know yourself better so that you can tap into your intuition. And I feel like this card being here, shifting into your mind games, isn't being manipulated by your mind games. It's awareness of how your mind plays games with you, right? How you learn to navigate using your mind. So feel into that and know that you're choosing to step into this energy because it's a state of empowerment. It's not like you're going to be messed with, okay? So what you don't know about your divine masculine, they're struggling with their health right now. Big time. For the divine feminines, because we're a little bit more awake, we have a better understanding of how energy is affecting us, and we're more intuitive in how we handle things for the most part. So in example, if you feel you need to rest, you allow yourself to rest. If you feel you need to eat better, you eat better, but it's not from a place of feeling like you have to. So the masculines are still stuck in the old paradigms of how to heal their physical body. And because they're so physical, all of the low vibrational stuff that they're purging, that they're dealing with, are going to show up there. So what they're showing me is we have our mind, our body, and our soul, or our mind, our mental, emotional, and physical. depending on what you're more comfortable with or what you're more attuned to, that's how your energy is going to show up for you. So, in example, if the masculine is a very physical person, their body is going to talk to them before their emotions do or their mind does, because they're not tuning in to the language of their mind or the language of their emotions. So any issues they have are going to show up in a physical sense. But it's not for you to worry about. This is all part of the process. It's not life-threatening bad health. It's just, you know how sometimes when you get so sick all the time, you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired, so you create change. This is what is going to force the masculines to shift into their change. The feminines didn't want to be in an emotionally they're showing me like drought or like wasteland. Like they're showing me what shifts the feminines is very different than what shifts the masculines, is what I'm saying. Okay, so what is underlying for you, sort of hidden in the connection for you? There's some resistance here, and understand that resistance is just showing up to help you understand what you're holding on to that isn't serving you anymore. So are you focused on doing things only one way? Are you holding on to old beliefs around behavior and choices? Those kinds of things create resistance, right? Your self-worth, having a lack of self-worth, will create resistance for you. But just know that this is all showing up for you so that you can honor yourself. Okay, so if you feel like things are hard, understand that you're resisting something, because when you're in a receptive, open state, it comes naturally. And that doesn't mean another person. There are other things. It's a little bit more complicated when we're talking about manifesting another human being, a specific human being. If it's a generalized human being, like, hey, universe, I'm really jacked about this project and I'd like you to align me with people, then absolutely they'll show up. But if it's a specific person, you both have to be in a place of manifestation, and there's all these other things. But it's just for you right now to understand, if there's resistance somewhere, if you're finding something hard, feel into that. You know, it might just be a little shift in what you're doing. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. It's just showing you that maybe how you're doing things isn't serving your energy right now. Okay, and what you're kind of not knowing about yourself. Interesting. We have legal situation, but this is about making a decision. Okay, so I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent here. I'm trying to share a little bit more of my story so that maybe it helps other people in whatever situation they're in. I guess it's not less of a tangent, more of a story time. So I was like, I kept getting cards like, you need to make a decision, you need to make a decision, you need to make a decision. And I'm like, I have made a decision. I picked my person. What's going on? Like, I didn't pick my person. I accepted that this was my person and I wanted to do the work with them, that kind of thing, right? So I'm like, what do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, and then it hit me on New Year's, of course. I had some drink. I had some alcohol. I had a drunk bath. I did. I had a drunk bath. And in the bath, it dawned on me. So he had posted a picture with his family and he looked really happy. And I was upset about that. And I was very much aware that it wasn't okay that I was upset about that. And I couldn't figure out, why would I be upset? He deserves to be happy, blah, 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 right? And it dawned on me that I was thinking, because of my subconscious wounds and beliefs, that everything has to be one way or not one way and only one way. So in my mental capacity or my mental looping, I believed that in order for us to be together, he had to be on the outs with his family, because his family is very 3D, very linear, and can be very toxic. And there's no judgment of that. I had to get to a place of accepting what they couldn't accept and be okay with that, because anyways, there's all kinds, I'm sure your mind's like going crazy right now, like, oh, there's all kinds of stuff coming up here. But it took me a while to realize that I didn't make a choice. I was only choosing him conditionally. I wasn't choosing him and everything that's a package deal with him in an unconditional way, because I was afraid I wouldn't be able to handle the energy. So just know that if you haven't made a decision, it's okay. But it also allows you to recognize where you're holding yourself back and perhaps where your fears lie. Okay, so I'm going to do a little advice, and then we're going to get into the extended, where I go in a little bit deeper into each one of these categories, because it'll usually tell us a little bit more of what's going on. Sometimes it tells us a different story. And then I'll do messages from the Divine Masculine's higher self. So you can get this extended version for $5.55 from my website, or you can become a person on Buy Me a Coffee. You can become a member. Okay, so, oh, look at that. Look at that, popped right out. Heal your insecurities. We're working on it, Spirit. We are, as a collective. I believe that we are working on our insecurities, because the insecurities are things that we took on. We weren't born insecure, right? We're just giving them back with love and compassion, or transmuting them for healing, right? So the Emperor asks you to embrace your, of course, is the Divine Masculine, right? The Emperor card. The Emperor asks you to embrace your confidence, or is recognizing that you are. This energy is all about healthy confidence, protecting your dreams, and taking confident action. We develop our insecurities from interactions we have with other people, and they often affect our confidence in a negative way. But since the insecurities you developed don't actually belong to you, but to other people and their opinions, you can choose to release them. So your mantra is, I am secure in who I am. All right, I love you guys a lot. Be your peace, share your light, love yourself, and have an amazing day.